Can Disney's earnings save Disney stock? The stock's down 42% year to date, and they have earnings tomorrow. That's May 11th after hours. And I'll be reacting to those earnings live. So make sure you're hitting that subscribe button and that notification bell to get notified when I go live so that we can react to those earnings together. Tomorrow, these earnings expectations are $1.07 per share. The revenue that's supposed to come in is around $18.91 billion. And there's a lot of I think, ridiculous selling here. And I brought none other than Fat Man Zoom here on this particular segment to talk about Disney and just what's been going on with the stock. Bro, it really has been getting beaten down because of everything that's going on with streaming. And there's so much more to Disney than just Disney Plus.
Yeah. We've talked a lot about travel and travel coming back. And you got to remember, that's really Disney's bread and butter. Obviously, what's up, guys? Obviously, the pandemic kind of catapulted Disney into the game of streaming and a big player years in advance. But the reality is it's all about the parks. That's where they make their money. And so travel coming back, not only the existing numbers we'll see, but it's going to be exciting to see what the guidance is going to look like.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing record numbers as far as travel is concerned. I mean, Airbnb has talked about it. The CEO, Ed Bastian of Delta, talked about record demand as far as air travel is concerned. And we heard this from United Airlines. And where are they all going? They're all going on vacation. They're going to parks and attractions. And I have a strong feeling we're going to see that from Disney as well. The reason that this is sold off doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. And then when we look at the chart, it is below pre-pandemic highs at this point, and we are getting close to pandemic lows. Now, obviously, they've fallen under some scrutiny as far as from the political side of things, and maybe that's had something to do with it, but that has nothing to do with the actual fundamentals of the company, which, in my opinion, makes this a buy. So, do you buy this before earnings? I think, as I've mentioned throughout this entire earnings season, with the dynamics of the market in general, I say that you probably would want to wait until we hear from them on their earnings to see what the reaction is. Even if you don't get in at the absolute bottom, and let's just say they knock it out of the park as far as earnings are concerned, no pun intended. But you look at this, and I think that there's plenty of upside here. So maybe you'll miss out on a little bit of a run if this happens to just go off after earnings, but you're not going to miss, the absolute monster that this could be. And I think once people start to get over the fact that Disney Plus isn't just all what Disney has to offer, I think that we could see this easily get back to that $200 level, because the parks is really where it's at. It was a number one revenue driver before the pandemic. They had 26 million Disney Plus subscribers pre-pandemic, and then that increased to around 130 million subscribers today. So that is an absolutely crazy growth there. Then you add the parks in, and this just makes the stock all that much more valuable. Fat Man Zoom.
Yeah, we're gonna see this sort of narrative continue to play out when we talk about earnings, really through this year, but even through next year, which is when we're looking at year-over-year growth. And a lot of these companies are going to struggle with year over year. So you have to find companies that aren't going to struggle, that the bar is set low. Now, we know streaming wise, it's going to be a struggle with Disney. But if what we speculate is correct, the parks are going to be huge for them the end of this year into next year, and the bar's actually really low. So we're going to see some monster beats next year. What does that mean for now? Not much for now. The overall market is kind of depressing everything, but we've been looking for companies that are going to be around forever for the long haul. They're not going anywhere. They are industry leaders, and Disney is that, not to mention that they have multiple revenue streams. So again, streaming is going to hit the companies like Netflix, obviously, potentially like a Discovery, but Disney's going to come in, and their parks numbers next year are going to be silly, and their growth I believe, is going to be monstrous. And those are the type of companies that are going to win moving forward going into next year.
I agree. I mean, Disney Plus at this point is icing on the cake as far as I'm concerned. And the focus really shouldn't be there, in my opinion. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, I'll be live tomorrow at 3:45 p.m. Eastern time to cover these earnings as they come in. So would love to see you guys there. Make sure you hit that notification bell, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.